Hi, hope you're having a great day. You're watching JG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm going to be going over Jurassic World's Dominion box office opening weekend, Top Gun Maverick's third weekend drop, and how much money it did, as well as how it's now beating Multiverse and Madness. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. I'm going to give you all the info on how what this means for the industry going forward. And also Spider-Man No Way Home's new version of the movie coming out soon, later this year, and how it's also going to affect the industry going forward. So yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. So yeah, let's get started with this breakdown. So first of all, let's go over Jurassic World Dominion's opening weekend. And it opened with $145 million. That's a lot of money. That's really, really a lot of money. That's really, really good. Like, wow, that's a lot of money. Jurassic World Dominion really did do a lot of money. This is especially interesting since critics really, really hated this movie, giving the movie a 30% on Rotten Tomatoes. A 30%. That's really, really bad. So yeah, critics really did not like this movie, and the fact that the movie still put out that much box office is really, really huge. Like, that's really, really crazy. And how did this manage to happen? Well, it seems like audiences actually seem to be liking this movie. Why do I say this? Well, look at the audience score. 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. That's pretty good. And an A- cinema score. For context, this is the same as Batman earlier this year and a bunch of other movies. So yeah, an A- is really, really good. That's really, really strong. So yeah, the audiences seem to be liking this movie. It's not like the best movie for them. It's not like, oh my god, this movie is incredible. It's not like Top Gun Maverick, which got an A, which that is really, really incredible. A- is just good. It just means that the audiences think that the movie is good. So yeah, at least the audiences seem to be thinking the movie is good. So that's really interesting. However, critics, like I said, have been really harsh on this movie. 30% of Rotten Tomatoes is not good for them, and I do wonder how this is going to affect them going forward for a second weekend. I wonder what the word of mouth is going to be. So far, I have a very mixed word of mouth. Some people say it's really good, some people say it's really bad. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see how the movie works in general. And the internet, it seems like a lot of people do like it. It also seems like a bunch of people are memeing about it because it's really bad. So it's really interesting. I don't really know, especially since I haven't seen the movie. I'm just like, I can't even tell if the movie is good or bad. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see the word of mouth is, what the word of mouth is going to be going into the second weekend. Analysts right now are expecting the movie to drop 58% for its second weekend against the opening of Buzz Lightyear, which is actually a pretty strong drop. That's actually a pretty nice hold for the movie. And as long as it doesn't cross the 60%, I think that's going to be a pretty nice hold. Once it crosses 60%, then it's going to be a really high drop. But if 58% would be pretty good, especially going against a Lightyear, a brand new blockbuster for Pixar, I think that's a pretty good hold. So we'll see where it actually lands. But yeah, 58% would be good. If anything over 60, I think would be pretty bad. The movie did have a high drop on Monday though, with a 67% drop from Sunday. However, the movie still made $12.7 million on Monday, which is really incredible because once you get to double digits on weekdays, that's really, really good. Like, that's really, really good. So yeah, at least they got double digits. This movie's domestic box office at $157.7 million. Just striking 3% behind Fallen Kingdom at the same point in time. So yeah, that's really crazy. The fact that it's like 3% off after the whole pandemic and everything, that means that the box office is truly back. And we'll see what the movie goes forward from here. I think going forward, it's going to depend on the word of mouth for this movie. Fallen Kingdom went on to make $417.7 million domestically, so that's a really great sign for Dominion. If it can keep on track with Fallen Kingdom, then it's going to make a lot of money domestically, over $400 million. That's the goal for this movie. That's the mark that it has to pass for it to be considered a hit. Now, Fallen Kingdom also went on to make more than double that domestic box office money overseas, showing that the true market for this movie is honestly overseas. So how much did the movie do overseas? Well, overseas, the movie mostly opened in a lot of places. Other places they had already opened, but for the most part, this weekend, overseas, the movie made $178 million. So that's really, really good. That's really, really good. That's really, really strong. That means that the international total for this movie now stands at $247.4 million, including the money from a few markets that it opened last weekend, and then this weekend, that's a pretty strong amount of money. $247.4 million. That's really, really strong. So that's great for this movie. 53 million of those dollars came from China alone, where it was the fifth biggest opening Hollywood movie of all time in China. So yeah, that's really, really strong for this movie. That means that Jurassic World Dominion really has a lot of potential to make a bunch of money in China. We'll see how it keeps holding on along the weekends, but if it can hold on pretty good in China, the movie's going to be a huge, huge juggernaut in China. So yeah, that's really, really crazy. So yeah, the movie really, the honest audience for this movie is really mostly overseas. People seem to be loving dinosaurs over there. Overseas, people seem to be loving any huge action things. They like Transformers a lot. They like Jurassic World a lot. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see how this works overall as the movie progresses. But yeah, this is really promising for the overseas box office, and adding the overseas box office plus the domestic box office, the movie has a total of $405.2 million right now, which is really strong for this movie. So yeah, that's really, really good for this movie. Great sign. The movie seems to be really promising, and it's really becoming a huge hit despite its harsh critic score. So yeah, let's see how this movie holds on over the weekends, especially as competition becomes tough, Lightyear and everything. But like I said, it seems like the movie's gonna hold on pretty well. So far the movie seems pretty promising, and it definitely seems like it's gonna cross $1 billion. We'll see if that's the case, but it's it'll be very interesting and it seems very promising. So yeah, that's Jurassic World Dominion. However, despite Jurassic World Dominion being so huge this weekend, Top Gun Maverick did not slow down at all this weekend on its third weekend, where it only dropped 42.4%, earning $51.9 million. That's really, really crazy, and that's really, really crazy strong for this movie on its third weekend. That's crazy. $50 million, that's really, really crazy. The domestic total now stands at $401.8 million. This is really good. How good exactly? Well, this means that the movie is now the highest grossing film of the year, domestically speaking, meaning that it has officially beaten Multiverse of Madness, which currently stands at $398.7 million. So yeah, that's crazy. It already beat Multiverse of Madness with a lot less time. So yeah, that's really, really strong for this movie. Like, the movie is doing amazing domestically. It's tracking to be somewhere around like the $600 million domestically. If it can cross $600 million domestically, that's going to be insane. Like, super insane. Now, this is also another great time for the movie box office industry, as the movie been able to make $51 million this weekend, where Jurassic World opened at $145 million this weekend. Proves that the box office is truly back, as both movies generated massive business, showing multiple movies can generate good box office numbers at the same time. Once again, after the pandemic, since the pandemic really, really affected that, back then it was only one movie and that's it. No Way Home, even No Way Home, only one movie was doing good and that was it. So with this, we can finally say that yes, multiple movies doing good at the same time is finally back, which is such a great sign, as the summer season going forward is going to be getting packed with movies. Lightyear, Thor: Love and Thunder, all this and all that. So yeah, it's gonna get packed with movies. So that's a really good sign for all these movies, that at least multiple movies can make really good money. So yeah, that's really promising going forward, as most movies are gonna be really stacked up right next to each other, as seen by this upcoming opening weekend for Lightyear, just 1 week ahead of Jurassic World Dominion. So yeah, we'll see how these movies do overall, but this is a great sign for them to actually do multiple business, as most of the movies are in the theaters. So yeah, that's really good. That means the box office is truly back, and I could not be happier. But what about overseas? Well, overseas, the movie has made $353.7 million, which is really, really strong as well. Like, really strong. Not as strong as the domestic box office, but that's okay. Some movies have more domestic box office, some movies have more international box office, seen by Jurassic World Dominion, and this just happens to be one of the domestic box office. But internationally, it's still doing really good, especially for a movie that's over the American Army. It's like really, really good. So yeah, it's really incredible. So that's great. This is the movie for a total of $753.5 million, which is just insane. That's super crazy. Sometime tomorrow, Thursday, right before the weekend starts, the movie should cross Mission Impossible Fallout to become the biggest movie of Tom Cruise's career, globally speaking. So yeah, it's really, really insane. And not just that, but the movie's on track to cross $1 billion, and they might even reach $1.1 billion or $1.1 if it can hold really strong this upcoming weekend with Lightyear's debut. So yeah, it's really insane for this movie. It's crazy how much money this movie is doing. Nobody expected this movie to be this big, but the fact that it's even the biggest movie of the year domestically, it's crazy. It beat Multiverse of Madness, it beat the Batman, it beat all these comic book movies, and that's just insane. The fact that a movie that wasn't a comic book movie ended up doing this is insane, and that just shows that the industry is really evolving to become more of like this more inclusive movie, and the only way to beat comic book movies is by actually making it a really, really good 4 quadrant movie. So yeah, that's what you need to be a box office hit, and that's it. That's basically it. So yeah, this movie really did it, and Tom Cruise just keeps showing that star power really does matter. So yeah, stars are going to be a huge thing for Hollywood going forward. But overall, yeah, this is a huge hit for Top Gun Maverick, and Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, the upcoming one, is still going to get huge boost in the box office thanks to this movie, and thanks to the new audiences getting introduced to Tom Cruise. So yeah, that's really, really incredible. And yeah, I'm very happy for this movie. Clearly, audiences are loving it, as seen by the audience scores that they're leaving this movie as a whole. That's really, really strong audience scores. So yeah, it seems like the movie totally deserves it. So yeah, great job to the movie. Now moving on to the last topic of the video, that is going to be the new Spider-Man No Way Home version coming to theaters, re-releasing to theaters on September 2nd. And what is this new version? Well, the movie is going to be called Spider-Man No Way Home, the more fun stuff version. And this movie is going to include deleted scenes or extended scenes from the original cut of the movie that was released in theaters earlier. And it's going to have all these new brand new scenes, apparently, according to the advertising and everything. And as being advertised, it's going to be the more fun stuff version, the more fan service version of the movie. So yeah, that's going to be really interesting to see how it does in theaters. The movie itself was already really long, so this movie might be like 3 hours long, depending on how long the scenes are, the ones that are being added. But overall, this movie is going to come out, like I said, on September 2nd, and it's a brand new thing to the industry, as the deleted scenes and extended scenes of this movie were obtained from the Blu-ray, DVDs, and online copies of the movie, which is really, really interesting. This is the first time that the industry ever does this, so that's really, really interesting. And they're going to be releasing them with all these things in theaters, so we'll see how this ends up doing box office wise. If it ends up doing really good box office wise, then you can expect that the deleted scenes and Blu-ray cuts or things from the past, and they're going to do this every single time. Now, for any huge movie, comic book movie specifically, or movies like Jurassic World or Fast and Furious, I think they're going to do this for sure, just to add more fan service to movies, and keep them for the original cut and add them more to the second cut. I think that's going to be a thing from the future if this version of the movie does good. So yeah, we're going to see how the box office does pretty for this movie, but it looks like it's going to do pretty good. If you want more information on this, on what scenes are going to be included in this movie and everything, check out this video right here where I break down all the new scenes that could possibly be included into this new cut of the movie. Trust me, you really want to see that. If you're interested into this, I really do break it down really nicely. So yeah, check it out. But yeah, overall, this could be a really good thing for the industry, but it could also be really bad for the industry as producers now start thinking of new ways to milk the movies. And honestly, this seems pretty effective. Honestly, I do think that this is gonna work. So yeah, start saying goodbye to those extras for the Blu-rays that include the scenes and extended scenes. I don't think they're gonna be part of the Blu-ray anymore if this goes well for Sony. So yeah, we'll see how it ends up doing. But yeah, if I was you, I would start saying goodbye to the deleted scenes and extended scenes from the Blu-ray cuts. So I really do think they're gonna be a thing from the past if this new version does good. So yeah, we'll end up seeing this whenever the box office finally comes, and we're gonna see how they advertise this as well. Are they gonna add trailers or something? We're gonna see that also. It's gonna be very interesting. But overall, it seems the concept itself seems really interesting, and it seems like a new way that Hollywood is going to try to milk new movies going forward. So yeah, we'll see how this ends up doing overall. But yeah, that's it going to be for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully you enjoyed my breakdown. And if you did, then just make sure to leave a like. It's very, very helpful. So please leave a like. As well as subscribe for a lot of the content. More box office videos coming. More information on a bunch of movies coming out very soon as well. Breakdowns, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, all that type of stuff. Just great for all the content that I'm sure you're going to enjoy. And as you tell me down in the comments, what do you think about any of this? Do you think Jurassic World Dominion deserved the huge box office numbers that it got? Did you personally hear good things from Jurassic World Dominion as the word of mouth? Like the people saying good stuff or bad stuff about it? I'm very curious to hear that as well. What do you think about Top Gun's Maverick holding so well in the third weekend? What do you think about it beating the Multiverse of Madness to be the highest grossing movie of the year domestically? And what do you think about Spider-Man No Home's the more fun stuff version coming soon to theaters and a re-release version with new deleted scenes? How do you think this is going to change the industry? I'm very curious to hear all your opinions on that, so definitely make sure to tell me that down in the comments. I'm definitely going to make sure to read them and respond. So yeah, tell me that down in the comments. And yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is JH Entertainment, out.